world, it's Birdo Pray 5 Qapla, and welcome to the members only stream for January 2023. It's the second Tuesday of the month, January 10th, 2023. And for those of you who don't know, January 10th is one of those days that I will likely always remember. Today, unfortunately, the 17th anniversary of the passing of my boss, the late, great philanthropist, Sidney E. Frank, the quote unquote $2 billion man, died 17 years ago today. I was in Vancouver. Wow. I said that with a terrible accent. I was in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, at I forget what the hotel was, but it was the World Trade Center of Vancouver. Beautiful, beautiful view. For all the places I'd been around the world, honestly, to find one of the greatest views just a couple hours north of the United States, just over the Canadian border, looking out over the water and to the mountains and the glaciers beyond. Oh, such a beautiful view from we had the penthouse of this hotel, an incredible room. I got to sleep in it that night because why not? We were already paying for it, and my boss hadn't got there yet. The whole day, we had carpenters in the room putting down carpet, covering all the tile, beautiful marble, imported tile from God knows where, and the room was being covered with carpet because it was softer on his feet, and for an 86-year-old man in bad condition. In fact, he was coming to Canada to have an experimental procedure done on his heart to try and prolong his life, and none of us had the slightest doubt that the procedure would have worked had he made it. I mean, we were not, maybe we should have been expecting it, but none of us were expecting it. And I was there on the ground with the so-called advanced team. We were getting his room and everything together. I was doing my part. I had already had his home, his direct TV from his house in New Rochelle, New York, connected over the internet, which at the time was no small feat, to a $10,000 projector that we had two of, and I had two of myself, so I could know how to use it. But we had two for travel, so we had it set up, and the hotel would provide a 6-foot projector screen, so he could have a 6-foot television in his room, and I brought the wires so that we could also connect it to the hotel. The hotels, they didn't know, the hotel, that with a basic VCR of the day, you could connect and get all the channels the hotel charges for, including the 24-hour pornography channels, for free. So he didn't care about that so much, though he was very happy when he found out that that was a side benefit. But no, he just mostly wanted to be able to watch his home channel so he could watch sports and his favorite TV shows without, on his TiVo at home. and I let him do that, and for that alone, he would have paid me any amount I had asked. The fact I was also an electrical engineer and taking care of the IT needs of the group and all sorts of other things, well, those were just icing on the cake for him. He would have paid me just so his TV worked. Uh, anyway, it was a shock to all of us when it got the call, and the guy who was on the plane with him, and we were like, well, that's weird. You should be on the plane, but you're calling clearly from the ground. And all we heard was sobbing. We kind of knew what was happening. And uh, I mean, there was no person, quote unquote, in charge in his absence, but I guess the other people kind of looked towards me since I had the best, closest relationship with the New York office staff and whatnot at the time, and the person who was in charge. And we dropped everything and left thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in equipment, a multi-million-dollar bulletproof Mercedes Maybach. I just left it at the hotel and got flights to get back to San Diego to meet the plane with the body on it. And we did. We got back that night. The next day, we had a small memorial service with the family and us closest to him in San Diego. And then the next day, using certain connections, the body was flown on a private plane back to New York, and we had an entire JetBlue plane just for it turned out to be maybe 15 or so individuals. And we landed in LaGuardia, and I went home to get the first sleep I had in 3 days, and the rest of the staff, who was based out of California, went to a hotel. They went to the city. They partied like crazy that night. I missed it, but I needed my sleep. Caught up with everybody else the next day, and had the unenviable job by the family at that point, since Mr. Frank had passed, I was asked to record the funeral on his very expensive HD Sony cameras, which at the time were still, hard, rare, and expensive. And one of which was sitting at the hotel in Vancouver, but the backup of which, of course, I had with me in New York. So we almost couldn't record it. Not for the fact that isn't weird to record a wake, or at least it was at the time, but for a fact that the one place I was going to plug in turned out, no, that's exactly where the no, not a podium, what they put you in your grave. You're laying in a coffin, your coffin. That's where the coffin was going to be. And you couldn't have they wouldn't allow an electrical cable to be sticking out from under the coffin. And I did not have a long enough extension cord for the next furthest outlet, but somebody at the place managed to find. My God, this was a a fire hazard waiting to happen, like a 1950 extension cord frayed beyond all repair. But, what the hell else was I going to use? So we used it. It managed to keep the electricity flowing long enough for me to record the funeral. And yeah, it was weird. It wasn't. I felt better once I was doing it because it was kind of my job. I was always the one behind the camera. Very rarely did I have pictures of me with Mr. Frank and the others because I was always the one taking the pictures. But once I started, I felt okay. This is the right thing. This is where I'm supposed to be. But once I was finished, I was like, I don't know if I like that. And well, I just gave the video to the family, and I think that's one of the few I did not keep. And yeah, I assume somebody probably just put it in a box or somewhere, and will probably never be seen again. Oh, and thank you so much, Sci-Fi Nation, with a $5 super chat. Guys, you have to super chat on a member's stream. Says, all hail glorious Karoga, and of course, the God Emperor Nipple O'Prey. Awesome story, Bird, but please fix your avatar. Oh shit. Do I not have I don't have an avatar. Son of a bitch. I was gonna look at that first thing. Thank you so much. Okay. I knew I shouldn't have even put I put the damn animated avatar back because I figured, oh, it'll probably work. And sure enough, it didn't. Thank you, Sci-Fi Nation. And guys, there's the link to join the panel if anyone is interested. Let me go back and go through the chat first. Captain Fandom Nerd is in the house as hashtag hail on Karoga. Welcome, Captain. Carlo Albanese says, damn it, Jim. Qapla, Carlo. Mike Richards says, greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Greetings, Mike Richards. Mr. CCDB says, howdy, y'all. Yelp, I done became a member. Thank you so much, Mr. CCDB. And hey, look who's up on the panel. It's Mr. CCDB.
The irony of ironies.
How are you doing today?
I'm actually doing pretty good. I think I got more sleep than most people. So I'll take that as a win.
Awesome. Let me go through the rest of the chat real quick. Yvette is here. Says, good evening, Bird and everyone. Good evening, Yvette. The lovely Yvette. Mike Richards puts in the Bird of Prey loves poker emojis. Sci-Fi Nation says, Qapla and hail Karoga. Thank you, Sci-Fi Nation. And he says, that boss treated you good, Bird. Loved hearing those stories. Oh, man, he definitely did. He treated a lot of people good. Mr. CCDB says, is it Washington or Washington? Does it depend on who you're talking to? Not for me. It just depends on if I hear myself saying it correctly.
So you do say Washington.
I might. I'm not going to deny it. I mean to say Washington, but there are times I suppose I've said it both ways. Sci-Fi Nation says, didn't he know they make really comfy loafers? Oh, he didn't like to wear. I mean, I'm sure he was wearing something on his feet, but yeah, it was safer for everybody. Let's put it this way. It was safer for everybody if he was walking on carpet. So that was fine with us. Carlo Albanese says, hi, hope everyone is as well as can be. Thank you, Carlo, as are you. And hail Karoga. Absolutely. Hail Karoga. And Mr. CCDV got the Karoga flag. And right on to Carlo. VCR, says Carlo, virtual car racer. No, way back in the day, there was these strange plastic boxes that you could wind. It was like a cassette tape, but bigger. It had the moving picture on it with sound, sometimes stereo sound. It was real fancy. It was like capture your spirit on this analog tape.
I do believe that there were 4 of us in the chat who were riffing on VCR. So
Sci-Fi Ninja says, well, to be fair, Bird, there's rich and then there's so much money you have to find reasons to spend it. Yeah, you do. That was that type of rich. Carlo is glad he made it here, as am I, Carlo. Random Menaces, greetings, Birds members. Greetings, Random Menace. Hope you're doing well. Viking can recycler. Vomit chasing redneck. Of course. And Mrs. CCDV says, loves the Bird of Prey 5 stories. Vellum covering recliners. Vulcan crotch rot. Oh, wow. Mike Richards. And Mr. CCDV says, yeah, Mike Richard wins. Yeah, Vulcan crotch rot.
Vulcan crotch rot, yeah.
And thank you again, Sci-Fi Nation. Carlo says, Bird doing his job beyond the end. That's true. And Mr. CCTV says, when you walk into a VFW or an American Legion, you have to start every statement with, so there I was, no shit. I believe it. I believe that. Carlo says, hail Karoga. Absolutely. And Antiderivative Jill says, driving and listening. Qapla, Antiderivative Jill. And Antiderivative Jill just finished her own stream on the TOS episode, The Alternative Factor. Made it much easier to get through her review than the original episode. The Random Men has just read that Kurtzman and Stewart hinted possible fourth season of Picard. Certain masked man will probably
fourth season of Picard.
Explode.
Please do that.
If it makes money and it does well, I wouldn't be surprised. That was a big
to be honest, I have not unsubscribed from Paramount Plus, so they're doing some things right.
I mean, I'm watching Tulsa King, and
yes,
I mean,
Tulsa King.
You got Sylvester Stallone. What the hell else?
Well, naturally.
Do you need? But it's a convenient way to watch.
Sylvester Stallone is what, 75 now, isn't he?
I guess.
Or 75 or 76.
I want Tulsa King to cross over with Blue Bloods, so Stallone and
the mustache guy.
Yeah. What's his name? Mom. Selleck.
Yeah.
Tom Selleck.
Tom
Selleck and Sylvester
Tom
Stallone.
Selleck.
Could fight it out.
And
yes, you can always interrupt, Mama Frey. No camera.
Now, first of all, there is no such thing as the mafia.
Right.
With that said, watching that show,
Tulsa King.
yes, and the people in New York
Hmm.
that he went to jail for 25 years. They seem like so familiar to me from my childhood. Like there is no mafia, but
If there were.
Mama Pray, you keep saying
let's just
that.
say I knew a lot of wannabes, and they
They're-
acted like those people.
They're
Gotcha.
just
That-
good guys. They're a bunch of good
it-
guys.
So I get a lot more out of that show than you do.
Gotcha.
You actually, Mama Pray,
I'll
you
let you go
sound
back
like
to your members
you
only
sound
stream.
like one of the good guys. You sound like one of the good guys.
They said you sound like one of the good guys, Mama Frey.
I am a good guy, but I did know some guys that weren't so good.
But there is
Short
no
story?
mafia. There is no mafia.
I think
My father had many businesses in his life. Not all did well.
I
And
like
then,
how she put that.
unfortunately, he needed 2 cataract operations, and in those days, it was your eye needed to be covered for 6 weeks for each eye, or maybe it was 3 weeks for each eye, but a long time. So he could not drive. He was in the process of buying a bar and grill from a friend of his, and the friend had retired also from a city job, and he was moving to Argentina. Unfortunately, the friend never made it. He retired, and before the closing of the bar and grill, he passed away. But anyway, that had
Natural
nothing.
causes.
Huh?
Natural causes.
Yes, natural
Yeah,
causes.
natural
Yeah.
causes. Nine
No, he
millimeters
really did.
count
No, my
as natural causes, right?
No, he really did, pass away from natural causes, but it caused the closing of the bar. So my father, what I was saying is my father was out of work for a while. He wound up finally buying the bar from the wife, the widow. And but this wasn't even the story I was going to tell. So my father owned this bar and grill, and there was let's just say a wise guy that was trying to shake my father down for money. Now the cataract story was because we called them Coke bottle eyeglasses. The lenses were so thick. My father had cataract operation in both eyes, so without the glasses, he couldn't see his hand in front of his face. He was behind the bar. He counted the steps to get to the end of the bar, come out, count the steps, stand in front of the guy, and punch him. My father was a good guy, but he did not take any shit from the guys that thought they were going to be bad. So anyway, I really am enjoying Tulsa King. With that, I'm giving Bird back his members only stream and going mind my own business. Take care, guys.
Thanks, Mama Bray. You're awesome.
Oh, thank you. Yes, and I hope everything's well with you, Sci-Fi.
Things are, yes, they're looking better. Things are going better this month. Thank you.
Good. All right. Hope everyone is well. With that, here, Bird, he's giving me looks like I'm taking over his stream.
Yeah, not taking over. the stream.
Maybe I should start streaming on my own.
Hey, I'm still subscribed to you, Mama Bray.
Yeah, I'm thinking I just may do a couple of little things, but I don't know when. All right, here, Bird.
Okay. Thank you, Mama Frey.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys got a Mama Frey treat. Welcome up, Sci-Fi Nation.
Thank you, Bird. How are you doing?
Not bad.
I remember you telling the stories about your boss a while back. This is the first one I remember hearing in a while. I do like those stories. Just the memories you have, the fondness you had for the guy, how good he treated you guys,
Carlo Albanese wants me to say Terrence. Terrence or Terrence? I prefer Terrence.
Or Tourette's.
Tourette's is a different. is a different thing altogether.
I know.
Well, Sci-Fi Nation, this might be of help, not or not to you.
What
Let me,
turrets? I don't know
let me
turrets.
share screen. I've been putting together the Sidney E. Frank video archive on YouTube
Oh,
in
cool.
my spare time. I don't have the video from the funeral, but other videos I do have. I've been uploading, including a broadcast on BBC News from when we were in London, his personal tour of the war rooms. These were underground in London, and the person in front of him in this tour is Winston Churchill's grandson, and his great grandson. This guy on the right, that's his Winston Churchill's grandson, Randolph Churchill, and then his son was there too, and his name is Winston. Took charge of Chartwell. These are all done in the UK. Him on the Golf Channel. Him and Bill Clinton playing golf. A video from the Million Case Party for Jägermeister. Had here
Yeah,
in
I
New
was
York
gonna
City.
say the Jägermeister. Yeah, the Jägermeister is what got my attention.
Yeah, so we got masked Jägermeister guy here signing a deal at the time for a long-term distribution contract. Of course, that was back in 2005. Long-term was, I don't know, maybe 10 years. And then they ended up just buying the company. Mr. Frank and his private plane landing in Brown University. Whole bunch of video from his day he got his honorary doctorate at Brown University. I almost got arrested for recording this video. Yeah. Yeah. Apparently nobody told security that I had full clearance to be recording. Where I was recording from was like the top VIPs of Brown, and they didn't really appreciate 300 plus pound guy with a video
Now,
camera
I
pushing
thought
his
that
way around.
I thought that Brown University was a women's college.
For all practical purposes, it should be. There was a hell of a lot of women there, but it's not all women.
So, in other words, if you want a good flirt to roast ratio, go to Brown University. That's what you're saying.
Well, the thing is that I suspect a lot of the women there are not interested in men. If you get my drift. I don't know. It's great place to get a date if you're a heterosexual man, but there are a lot of women. I'll just leave it at that. Anyway, I've got more videos to upload.
And they are all roommates.
So you put this together, this channel, Bird, that you
because I've got the videos. So I'm slowly. I got to go through the videos, make sure there's nothing, too personal or what.
Right.
And
I'm your number 2 subscriber. So.
Oh, awesome! Thank you.
You're welcome. Like I said earlier, I like those stories you were telling, and that's the first one I've heard in a while that you were telling here, and it was kind of nice to hear you talk about it again.
Well, today's January 10th is the day he passed, so that's.
I think it's a very fitting memorial, Bird. I really do.
Thank you. The randomness
if you ever decide to go back in time, go ahead and take the master with you. I'll go with you.
You go back? You go back in time to 2005 or thereabouts?
Why not? I was there once. I can go there a second time.
That's a bad year for me. That's when my daddy passed away. But to
Oh,
be
I'm
fair,
sorry.
yeah, I mean, at least he had life insurance. I know that's kind of a rude thing to say, but
Well, it's not. It's not rude. It's not rude. It's not. You know, your dad took care of you. It's not a rude thing to say at all. No, your dad took care of you.
The
it is
random
true.
menace says, in your capital, a ton of what is being washed? I
A
I really
washing
don't know.
ton. A washing
Oh,
ton.
Washington. Oh, okay.
Washing a ton of what?
Carlo Albanese says, question, a cassette tape. Is that something on a castle?
Only if it has 8-track in front of it.
Hail on Caroga. Again from
I
Captain.
do believe in castles. It's called crenellation, not cassette tapations.
Yes, you are correct, Mr. CCDV. It's crenellations.
Carlo Albanese says season 4 Picard is female by the end. Probably.
He's already a robot. You might as well make him female too. Go ahead.
And Carlo sends hugs to Mama Prey. The random menace says mom mastered Wordle with a miserable hint in one. Yeah, I heard about that
What was
after I
that?
finished it.
Oh, that's today's. What happened?
Today's Wordle.
I didn't see what happened with you yesterday, Bird. What happened with that? Or should I go back and watch your stream and see how you did?
Oh yeah, yesterday's I got. Today's was no wait.
Yeah,
Was that
yesterday was
today or yesterday?
yesterday
No,
was Monday.
yesterday's was
Bird
not.
Life.
No, yesterday I failed.
You
No,
fa-
yesterday I did not get it.
You did not, even though Mama Prey knew what it was, you still didn't get it.
Yes, today I got it in 6. Yesterday was the day you said you didn't think I'd get it, and you were right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Mama Prey would bet against me getting it, and she was right.
Right, because the only hint you had was the fact that Mama Prey knew the word. That's why she got it so fast. But I didn't see your stream after that because I had to cut short to go to work. So.
Oh yeah, no worries. Yeah, no, I made it to 6 tries and I didn't get it. So I was close, but not close enough.
Right on.
No, it wasn't sudden lead poisoning. Lead is a natural cause, says Random Menace. No, it wasn't lead.
It wasn't lead poisoning.
Well, lead is a natural cause of death if somebody, points something at you with a lead pointed thing in it.
Carlo Albanese says, yes, Mama Pray. I'm still waiting for my birthday stream you canceled a few years ago.
That's right.
She remembers. She apologizes. Yeah, there's the link to the Sydney E. Frank video archive. Carlo Albanese says, bless you, Bird. This guy touched you deeply and thought you has touched, and through you has touched us.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. I do.
Carlos says, Bird arrested. Never would I believe that. I was the closest in my life to that. I was like, listen, I was like the president of the university was like 8 feet away from me. I was like, do I really think she's going to let them pull me away in handcuffs? Especially if the biggest donor in the history of the university on stage next to her. I just didn't think it was going to come to that.
Maybe he should.
Just remember, Brown University, even if you go to the bars in the local area, Brown University does not allow women to hang out with men.
Well, that's a bit sexist, ain't it?
I don't know if that was
not
true
my policy
back in that day or not, but when we were up there for a dinner after Mr. Frank had passed, they were having a dinner in his honor because they were naming a new science building after him. We had we were made privy to a Brown University student demonstration where a bunch of students protested the fact that they were getting a building named after Mr. Frank because they didn't like his past history. And they threw a bunch of pamphlets from the, we were all in a dining room. And for some reason, in this particular hall, there's like a second or third story, and there was an open roof, like an interior open. So you could go down the halls and just throw things on the people seated below. So though we were all in there having dinner, they allowed students to walk across the ceiling, not the ceiling, to walk across the third floor and throw
so
pamphlets
dangerous.
down.
That is so dangerous, though, because paper cuts hurt.
And I was like, and we were there at the table I was with. Was that one of the was a Brown alumni who Mr. Frank had hired as his personal financial manager, and I just enjoyed. Like, say, I could tell she was mortified because like this was her school. She's like, this was just a very Brown thing to do. Like, well, I said to myself, well, I would be mortified. I kept like, I don't know. I thought it was hysterical. They had these, and they were women, 99% women, bitching about, oh, I don't want this money from this guy who set up, you know, a scholarship so 30 people could attend Brown University completely free of charge.
A scholarship.
A scholarship
and a science wing.
And a science building. And these women were complaining that they didn't want to be associated with this guy, and that Brown should give the money back. Brown should give the money back.
Remember, everybody, Bird of Prey 5 is non-political.
Well, here's what I would say. If I were Brown, I'd say, okay, we'll give the money back, but we're raising your tuition because now we can't afford all these programs that you want.
Exactly. You girls aren't going to go out there and become billionaires and donate $100 million, even plus, almost $200 million back to this university. No. So shut the fuck up. Okay? The kitchen's that way.
And
that ain't got nothing to do with gender. That's just
the kitchen's that way.
That's I can't believe you just said that. That is incredibly ist.
Well, you know, it's just like bird life. Toxic masculinity will ensue on the Bed Life stream.
Random Ends is the best way to listen to Star Trek books is on 8-track.
I keep women out of my kitchen because they keep putting the dishes away in the wrong places. So I keep women out of my kitchen.
I keep them out because they don't know how to cook.
I do not point the way to the kitchen for women. I say, stay out of my kitchen.
I understand. I obviously am joking. I did not say the kitchen is that.
Disclaimer, Bird's disclaimer. Obviously,
but
it was a joke.
I did just kind of.
You went full toxic masculinity.
I rubbed it into the woman at our table who was a Brown University graduate because she, Brown is technically an Ivy League school, but it's like
really it never comes up. It never comes up every time I hear MIT, so I don't know.
It's the least Ivy League of the Ivy League.
MIT is not Ivy League.
Well, that might be why I never hear it.
Yeah, MIT is not Ivy League, but Brown is.
Yeah.
And yes, all the women there who have to be roommates. Let me put that the air quotes.
Are you
roommates?
You seem to know a lot about Brown
The,
University
the women who are roommates at Brown University, they go on to write shows like She-Hulk.
Oh, I see. I see. Carlos is sorry. I ended up in China 2005, forgot to account for a rotation, can't speak any other language than English. So I came back to present day. I had a little cold, but some guy in a lab took a sample.
Oh, that's okay, Carlo. That was just your Kurogan representative making sure, that you were safe to come back into the great nation state of Kurogan. So you're good.
And Miranda Menace says, since the lady took over Wordle, it is challenging. Yeah. That's one way to put it. Carlos says, who is live and why do they have... who's Ivy?
And why do they have leagues for her?
There's a whole thing about poison ivy. Oh, wait.
A good question. And Miranda says, ladies, you are protesting. Okay. All of you with the free scholarship, pack your suitcases and leave. That's what you should have said.
That's what the nurses, they should have said to the nurses too, that you were talking about yesterday. All you nurses that got free school and you're protesting? Yeah, get out of here. Of course, that would have had to been in their contracts, but
So how are you guys doing?
Mr. CC, you want to go first?
I'm actually doing pretty well. Remodeling my kitchen, of course, and I just don't feel like doing any drywall work today. So I threw up the drywall panels, but I don't feel like doing the actual joint compound. So I've taken the rest of the day off.
Understood. Sci-fi, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Bird. I don't know if you remember me talking about it, but that little bodega that's like half a block away, I started working there a few nights ago.
Right. Oh, cool.
Yeah, the one that's just right down the street from my apartment building. So that's pretty cool. I get to work there a few nights a week, and it's under the table, so we get the supplementary income and all of that good stuff. Gets me out of the house a little bit. Hey. Trust me, I've talked to people that work for the state. They don't give two rips, okay? So
that's the most important probably thing, is getting yourself out for a little bit.
Exactly. I was cooped up 24/7
with the world.
I do. I had you can ask the missus. I was going bonkers being here 24/7.
Miranda Menace says, who is leaking? We leak.
Who's leaking? No one's leaking. I just said shh.
Am I leaking? You reminded me of that scene from the first JJ movie. Shame on you, Random Menace.
Carla Albanese says, a contact is a contact.
Sci-Fi Nation actually said under the table, so I had to say shh.
You mean a contract is a contract is a contract, but only between Ferengi.
Yes, only between Ferengi, because if you're not a Ferengi, well, then they'll just change a contract anytime they want to, kind of like some of them Goodfellas.
Carlos says, after I did coursework, I had the day off, rest, relaxation, saw some friends at a late night walk.
Saw at some friends?
No, just saw some friends.
I'm assuming he meant saw some
walk.
Friends instead
saw
of
some friends and had a late night walk.
Oh, he saw some.
He saw some friends and had a late night walk.
He saw some friends. Yeah, that's kind of like doing the Warsh or going to Washington. All right, I got it.
Sorry about that.
When you have to go to Washington, yeah.
Random Man says, if you leak on drywall, is it still dry? Or is it a moist wall? Reading is
my
hard
favorite
too,
kind of wall
Carlo.
is a moist wall.
Words are hard, Carlo. Don't feel bad.
Words that are
buddy.
hard.
When that joint compound dries on your fingers and your clothes, you feel the dryness. So it is a dry wall. It's not a moist wall.
Yeah, see, Mr. CCDV is being all like, "Oh, I'm a construction guy. It's joint compound." No, it's drywall mud, man. Come on, call it what it is.
Call it mud if you have to. Go ahead, but it's
Well,
to me,
that's
it's
just
joint
the common
compound.
name. Yeah, the common name is
You
drywall
buy
mud.
5 gallons of joint compound. You're calling it joint compound.
I guess if you're paying that much money for it, just don't leave the lid off it overnight. Hey, you did seal it up, right?
I did indeed seal it up. Yes.
You're gonna wind up with a 5-gallon brick if you didn't.
Just toss it in the trash. It's fine. Tomorrow's trash day anyway, so I'm okay. I can throw
I
away
remember.
the joint compound.
I did remember what that used to sell for whenever I had a hardware store. I can only imagine what it costs now.
Oh, it is very expensive now, but yeah, it's still doing the work yourself is cheaper than hiring a contractor.
It's cheaper and it's rewarding, and you know you did it right. So, I mean, if you know what you're doing, yeah, obviously do it yourself. If not, then hey, you might want to call a friend that knows how to do it and give them a 12-pack or a case of beer. If you don't know somebody that knows how to do it, well, you're screwed. You're going to pay out the butt for a contractor. So, I don't know. I'm just saying. It's nice to know people. And I want to say hello to.
If you know what the term double header is, and I'm not talking baseball, I'm talking double header 2x4 construction. If you know what a double header is, then yes, you.
Well, I mean, if you're talking about putting the top and the bottom of the 2x4s into the
top plate,
the joist, the metal things that the metal
windows
thing that puts the top
doors,
of the 2x4,
you have to have the
and then you
header.
nail them up,
yeah.
I'd never heard them called that before, but yeah, we just call them joist hangers.
Qapla, Professor Brainy Specs. Welcome. The Random Menace says, I prefer real walls, those that can hurt you when you hit them, the bricky kind.
The bricky kind are always dry walls.
Albanese says, find out how to do it with YouTube. And not corn.
Not corn either.
Professor Brainy Specs says, hail to Mama Pray. Thank you, Professor. Random Menace says, doubleheader is only for Klingons. Wink, wink.
I see what he did there.
Yeah. Carlo says, a London brick wall. I don't know what
Pink Floyd.
What that refers. Pink Floyd.
You never grew up listening to Pink Floyd, Bird? Not even a little bit?
Not really. No. I mean, I was my musical selections growing up were extremely limited. I mean, literally growing up, I didn't listen to any music on the radio.
At least you had Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin. I'll give you that.
That was later. It was later. It wasn't until I was in college was I listening to Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, and stuff. I mean, when I was a kid, I didn't listen to anything.
Really?
We had we had a assignment in junior high school. We were supposed to sing a song, any song, I think. Because we had a class where, okay, so our junior high school had a TV station in the basement, like a working TV station, basically like public access stuff.
Yeah, public school, bro. Yeah, public
Yeah.
access school. Yeah, yeah.
So, one of our classes was, basically learn to make videos, stuff. And so one day, one of the assignments one week was to basically record yourself singing a song, even though today we would know that would be completely illegal and against all
Yeah, but
moral
YouTube didn't
rules.
exist back then. So.
Right, but yeah. And teachers gave a shit. He gave a shit about copyright, even less than LDG does.
Well, the copyright holders really didn't care back then either, to be honest. So.
But I had like literally no freaking idea like what song. I tried to explain to the teacher. I was like, I don't know what song. Every one of my people in the class picked a song right away. And they're like, what song do you want to do? I was like, I don't. I was like, can I write my own song? And they're like, I guess so.
You can try. You can try.
I was like, okay, then I'll write my own song. Unfortunately, it didn't go so well.
Wait, is this where the Krogan national anthem came from, Bird? I'm just wondering.
No, this was actually it
back
turned
in high
into.
School, I played bass and saxophone and tuba.
I played the recorder because we were too poor to afford actual instruments, even though I passed the test to go into music class.
I'm just saying, I didn't start singing until after I graduated from high school, but I was a musician prior to singing.
Well,
I only got a couple of lines.
Yeah, sing it, Bird. Yeah, I agree with Carlos. Sing it.
And that's the problem. I really didn't understand the concept of singing. It basically became a free spoken rap song because all I could do was make rhymes. I figured that was as close to singing as I was going to get, and I only made it like through like 1, 2.
So
I only made it through 4 short lines.
Are you going to bust a rhyme for us right now?
I hope you do.
Yeah, I will. I'll tell you guys. It's nothing, it's nothing particularly
real quick, Bird, before you do, I want to answer Jill. Jill, that was not meant to be funny. That was the truth.
What?
I passed all of the preliminary tests going to like band and music and all that, but we were just too poor to afford the dang instruments. That's the sad truth. Like literally, my grandparents were musical. I don't know about my parents. They never said anything. But my kids are musical, right? They play instruments. And so, yeah, I feel like I got gypped because I was poor growing up. So, yeah, I missed out on being able to learn that stuff in school.
My grandfather carried a clarinet with him through World War II when he was in Germany in World War II. And my mother played the accordion. And so I did grow up in a musical family.
So you got like parents that played like awesome stuff because Weird Al plays the accordion and Harry Kim played the clarinet on Voyager. That's awesome. Oh, the joke about Birdsong being the Krogan
anthem.
Oh, okay.
All right, so
my bad, Joe. You gonna sing it, Bird? Sing it.
Okay. Okay.
Wait for it.
You're going to understand why it didn't work out. There is a God. His name is Todd. He isn't really nice, but he doesn't have lice. That's how far I got.
That's a pretty good haiku so far. I mean, yeah, I can see it.
So when it was pretty clear that I wasn't going to finish a song in time.
You just got to put the music to it. There once was a God, and his name was Todd. He seemed pretty nice. At least he didn't have lice. Come on, put a tune to it.
So Mama Pray found one of the songs that they put on the car on the cassette player that we'd listen to if we were going up to the Adirondacks Caroga house. So I ended up singing that song. It was one of my hardest, by far, one of my hardest non-Spanish assignments in junior high school because I had to memorize the song.
As if biology and chemistry wasn't hard enough.
No, I could do sciences without question. Math, science, those came easy. History.
I'm messing with you, Bert. I know you were
saying.
A mechanical engineer, Bert. I know that.
Electrical. But,
well, okay.
Yeah.
There is a difference between mechanical.
There is. I'm just saying that by far my hardest subject was Spanish or foreign language. But next to that, my hardest assignment in junior high that was in English was just singing a song that it came so easy, even if they sucked at singing, mind you. You know, everybody had some song they had memorized.
And this was
in their lives.
Was this before the days of Bobby McFerrin and Don't Worry, Be Happy?
Oh, come on now.
What do you mean? This was 1980, probably 1992. 1990 to 1992.
I don't know. That song doesn't know.
Don't worry, be happy.
Be happy.
That would have been before.
That was in the 80s. Yeah, that was in the 80s. That 92 would be.
Do you remember the song, Mama Pray?
No.
I'm trying to remember what song it was. It's with a C or something.
What? Yeah. Something.
If I could give you a line, I would know the song.
I agree with Joseph, though, Bert. I agree with Joseph, the Random Menace. I think you're sitting on a sleeper song with The Last Subscriber.
These days,
Upload it to Spotify. Oh, The Last Subscriber.
Yeah,
The Last Subscriber is a much better song than There Is a God. His name is Todd.
Well, you did have a video about The Last Subscriber on your channel, Bert. Is it still up?
Yeah, it wasn't The Lion Sleeps Tonight. No, it was something. Oh, is there a song with somebody named Charlie in it? An oldie song with some. I could swear that the name Charlie is in the song.
Choo Choo Charlie.
No, not Choo Choo Charlie.
That
Was it by the Charlie Daniels Band?
No, not the Charlie Daniels Band. Something about a fight, maybe. Singing about maybe. I'd have to look. I'd have to look at all the. What is it?
Yeah, don't do it, Bird. You got like 80 tabs open. Don't do it.
Maybe for next stream, I'll figure it out.
One song that you played over and over and over again, going up to the Adirondacks.
Well, no, it was you have to understand it was what was it? The Times. Who put out all those Times Media or something? They put out all those not Time Life. Time Life.
Yes,
collection.
Time Life.
Yeah, the
Time Life
had,
collection of oldies songs. So they put out like 16 cassette tapes that had all the oldies from the
They had
Probably the
everything
60s, the
from
70s.
classical to oldies to
Yeah, and this would have
new
been like
rock.
60s
Yeah,
and 70s music.
I remember Casey
Um,
Kasem did an infomercial for him once.
Oh, Donna. Oh, Donna. I had a girl. Donna was her name.
Arlo
Said
Albanese
she
is
left
1, 2,
me.
3, 4, 5. There's so many Trek women. Oh, that's that's Mambo number 5. That's
Bump,
Birdo
bump,
number
bump, bump,
5,
bump, 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 bump,
right?
bump. Mambo number 5.
Little bit
I
of
keep
With
thinking.
Jadzia
Monica.
in
Oh,
my
yeah.
life. Little bit of
I keep
Esri
thinking
by
of
my side.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Aroga baby. Just you and me now.
Kurogan Paradise. Take me down to a paradise city where Kuroga hails and the girls are healthy. Hey, keep those orphans in the mines. Oh, wait, hey, how you doing?
Charlie Brown.
Take me down to Paradise
Maybe.
City where the girls are green and the grass is gritty. Talking about Star Trek 6.
No, it's not that.
Oh, those are Ryan girls are.
Charlie.
Oh, didn't the
Is it
Hura
Star
do a
Trek
song
5 or
about
6?
Charlie and TOS?
Maybe it wasn't Charlie. Oldie songs.
I don't remember an oldie song with Charlie, but I don't know a lot of oldie songs either.
16. Deluxe 60s and 70s Time Life Music Collection. Forever 60s.
Didn't mean to derail you, Bird, but
No, I'm kind of
this is a fun
curious.
stream.
I'll figure it out at some point.
You can make it a bed. You can make it a bed life topic. Sometime.
The point was, yeah. So it was one of the hardest subjects, and so I ended up singing a song Mambo Pray found for me on one of the cassette tapes, and I guess I didn't do a great job of memorizing it. I'd remember it if I heard it.
I just remember one that's really high pitched.
Maybe Chuck.
Dana, Dana, baby. But I don't know what the name of the song, what they say for the name is.
Bird, you have enough covers to put a whole album to Spotify.
You do, Bird. You have so many songs.
Sherry baby, Sherry baby.
Oh, Sherry, that's the name. Sherry. Okay,
Sherry,
well that's
baby,
not Charlie.
won't you come out tonight?
No, it's definitely not.
All I
Sherry.
remember is the little YouTube clip from like 20 years ago. Charlie bit my finger.
I'm trying, Ma.
Charlie Don't Stuff by The Clash, 1980s. That's Carlo.
No.
Charlie Don't Surf by The Clash, 1980.
Charlie Don't Surf.
This is going to keep me awake for a while.
Oh no! Well, just put that on the back
It's going
burner.
to keep me busy after the stream. Yeah, after the stream, I'm going to be constantly looking for it till I find it. Oh.
It's not going to be a Charlie.
Yeah, probably won't be a Charlie in it. But I really just have a feeling that there's something with a C. Either the person who sang it, or the title, or maybe they're in the song somewhere. I don't know.
Maybe you're thinking of Chuck Berry.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think it's Chuck Berry.
Hey, Chuck. Chuck, it's me, Marvin, your cousin Marvin. Remember me? Yeah. You know that new sound you've been looking for? Well, listen to this.
Yeah. See,
Hey,
now that
Bird.
would have made more sense because at least I'd watched that movie and
Now, me
I,
personally, I like Fats Domino, and so, hello, baby. Yeah, it's me you're talking to. Yeah.
Hey, Bird, you want to give Mama Prey a laugh? Have her look up on YouTube Charlie Bit My Finger remix.
oh, she's seen it.
Okay, I figured, but
Uh,
it's fine.
What, Mama Pray?
Who was the teacher that assigned
Who is the teacher that assigned it? Yeah, Lori.
Lord.
Yeah. Why-
47 Yorktown said the Coasters, Charlie Brown.
The Coasters, Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown. He's a clown. That Charlie
Yes.
Brown.
Yes, that's it. That's it. He's a clown, that Charlie Brown.
That is the song then. Okay.
Lyrics.
Awesome job, 47 Yorktown. Awesome.
Thank you. Who's got 47 Yorktown?
Yep.
Okay.
Right on. Good job, 47
How I get
Yorktown.
portals anymore, I don't know.
B50 fum. I smell smoke in the auditorium. That's it. That was it.
You want to get stuck? Just you wait and see. Why is everybody picking on me?
I thought that was a Monster Mash.
Charlie Brown, he's a clown.
I'm getting my oldies mixed up now. Was everybody always picking on
The
me?
Coasters, Charlie Brown. Okay. Well, now I've got to sing it.
Yes.
Sorry, guys.
Sing it, Bird.
Of course you got to sing it.
Smoke in the auditorium. Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown. He's a clown. That Charlie Brown. He's gonna get caught. Just you wait and see. Why is everybody always picking on me? That's him on his knees. I know that's him yelling 7, down in the boys' gym. Charlie Brown, Charlie Brown, he's a clown. That Charlie Brown, he's gonna get caught. Just you wait and see. Why is everybody always picking on me? Who's always writing on the walls? Who's always whooping in the halls? Who's always throwing spit balls? Guess who? Who? Me? Yeah, you. He walks in the classroom cool and slow. He who calls it English. Who calls your English teacher Daddy-O? Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown. He's a clown. That Charlie Brown. He's gonna get you caught. Just you wait and see. Why is everybody always picking on me? I had to get it explained to me.
Woo! Yeah,
What the
heck
hell
yeah.
Daddy-O meant.
Daddy-O! Rock on, Daddy-O! Was everybody was picking on Bird. Heck yeah, good job, Bird.
Yeah, it's an expression. I get it. But what was I? 12 years old. He walks in the classroom cool and slow. Who calls the English teacher Daddy-O? Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown. He's a clown. That Charlie Brown. He's going to get caught. Just you wait and see. Why is everybody always picking on me? Do-do-do-do. 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 I don't know what I did during the
You were humming the chorus.
quiet. Yeah, I guess I just hummed the chorus.
47
That was it, Charlie Brown. Thank you.
Good job, Bird. Awesome.
Good. It was a team effort.
It was 47 Yorktown identified the song and says, so much stuff in my old brain. Well, thank you for your old brain, 47 Yorktown. And Mike Richards says, hashtag Grammy for Bird. Absolutely.
And Grammy for Bird. Uh,
I'm sorry. I shouldn't read your chats for you.
no, please, thank you, because I was obviously behind. Carlos says, "Oh, Charlie on board the Starship Enterprise. Oh, Charlie.
Oh, Charlie.
Karogan Paradise.
Karogan Paradise. Yeah, I think I made up some words for that a few minutes ago. The only way is Karoga, baby, just you and me now. Who can it be now? Karoga and me now. Hey, that's a good minute.
Got to be kind of greased to be my girl.
What?
I don't know what the hell.
Oh yeah, Yosef said this. You got enough covers to put up a whole album to Spotify, Bird. You do. You could be like Weird Al's newest competitor, buddy.
Taking that Weird Al down. 47, thank you. There it is. Carlos says, congratulations. Yeah, so much stuff in the old brain. Grammy for Bird, says Mike Richards. And a few grams for Bird. Wow.
Hey, just a tip, Yosef. Just a tip.
Just a tip. Just a tip.
I'm sorry. After that story yesterday, that joke is not going to go away for a long time.
So, is who? Carlo? Yeah, Carlo's still here, Mama, right?
I don't remember the day, but I do remember his birthday's in March.
So Carlo, Mama Pray does remember your birthday's in March, but she doesn't remember the specific day.
Oh, so's Mrs.
It was
Sideways.
the first time life with Matthew ever.
But it was, yes. So the day Mama Pray was the birthday, the day Mama Pray was supposed to stream.
I remember that day. She
The
didn't
first
stream.
day Life with Matthew streamed.
Right. And he had anti-tracker.
And had Anti-Tracker on his channel. And
I'll see.
and it started at 11:30.
And I was planning on 12
Mama
minutes.
Pray was planning on going on at noon.
Is that why Mama Pray never streamed? Because
That's
Life
why
with Matthew
Mama
did.
Pray didn't stream.
Well, dang it!
She
You know,
didn't want to try and split. She
I
didn't-
know that's
She
a
didn't
that's a
think, and she also figured that everybody would be on with Anti-Tracker and Life with Matthew, so she didn't want to.
I'm not going to tell anybody when it goes.
So this time she's not going to tell anybody when she's going on.
So she didn't want to step on toes. I get it. That's a hard one, especially with Life with Matthew. You know, that Anti-Tracker guy, whatever. But that Life with Matthew, he's kind of a nice guy, you know.
Yeah, it was meant to be her first stream.
I wondered what happened. Now it explains it.
That's
The Random Menace says, I was born on Pi Day. We are birthday buddies with Carlo. Oh, so March 14th. No, Carlos is March 12th.
Well, pi is
March
3.14, so
Yeah. So the 12th of March, Mama Pray.
And the missus is March 8th.
Yosef.
The missus is March 8th.
March 8th is also my cousin Dibs.
There you go. Hey, honey, you share a birthday with cousin Dibs.
With who?
Bird's cousin Dibs.
Oh, nice.
He does Call of Duty streaming on Twitch. Well, there's something else I wanted to bring.
Absolutely, Bird. It's your stream. Go ahead.
we're all channel members here, and a kind of reminder. I recently, hey, Captain, Fandom Nerd, welcome.
Thank
Welcome
you.
to the panel, Captain. How are you doing?
Doing good. What were you going to say?
It has recently come to my attention that a former channel member is not in a great place right now. And I don't know how much he wanted public. I'm not going to go into details, but I just want to remind everybody out there, if you talk to somebody, if you have friends, and you haven't heard from them in a while, look them up. Send them a message. Send them a, hey, how are you doing? Don't be, don't be a stranger. Don't just assume that if they need something, they'll contact you. We're all friends here. It doesn't hurt, takes two to tango. Don't always put it on someone else to reach out. If you're a friend, you reach out to them as well. And I don't know, the full scope of their situation, but I know that I offered them anything I could do to help. And it was just nice to hear back from them. And I think we all, if we all consider it's everybody friends here, just be on the lookout for anyone who might need help, someone to talk to. We're not talking, writing a check for $50,000. We're talking about, hey, I'm here, talk to me, bounce an idea off me, or tell me about what happened to you, and we can cry about it together, whatever it is.
You know,
out there,
I agree.
people
Bert.
need help.
But even if they do need the money help, a lot of times what they need more than anything is just to know that somebody's there for them to listen to what they got to say.
Exactly.
I have been that guy, and that is why I always advertise the Veterans Crisis line. Of course, that's because I'm a veteran. So I always advertise the Veterans Crisis line. I've used it myself 3 times. Just in the middle of the night when you can't sleep and you're driving yourself crazy with all the memories and stuff that you've had to live with over the years. I've called the Veterans Crisis line myself multiple times. And
I must imagine there's a similar line for people who weren't veterans, but
a
longer wait. But they.
I don't know what it's called from state to state, but I think it's called something like the crisis prevention line or something like that. That regular, civilians can call something along those lines. It doesn't necessarily have to do with like offing yourself, because I don't want to use the S word, but just like if you're going through a hard time, you just want somebody to talk to, that kind of thing, right? Because a crisis doesn't necessarily mean you're at that point yet. Because there is a specific number just for that. So
and there are times when we just want to talk. It's not about offing yourself. No, it's not about offing yourself. It's just a matter of, is there someone out there who can talk to me right now?
A lot of people are too proud
is the important thing.
To ask for help.
Wouldn't know anything about that.
Not me. I was
talking about me, but yeah, hey.
No, for all the faults someone like me, I'll get out and I'll talk about all the things that are wrong with me right out in public. If people find people to talk about, oh, I got this from complaint and that complaint, and it's, salty too. Salty to get up and just,
Oh
tell,
yeah,
tell you all the problems he has.
I'll do it too. I'll be,
And
hey, you
then
got a problem
some.
with me? Okay, let's address it. I'll do it live. I'll do it live on a
I
live
mean,
stream. So
in one respect, that makes us, I'm sure that makes us annoying to a lot of people, but it's also kind of healthy for us to get that stuff off our chest.
Mhm.
Oddly enough, those streams are my most popular ones.
oh, the
And
ones where
I
you
don't
open
actually
up the
have that. I don't,
lines. Yeah, yeah.
you know,
You open up the lines.
everybody says you should do cooking videos, and I do cooking videos. Okay, and I posted a cooking video in the last year. But my live streams where I go on and say I'm messed up, I am messed up, and I go on. Those are my most popular live streams.
I've noticed the same pattern there, Mr. CCDB. Like I did one the other night. It was called "My Teeth Hurt and YouTubers Are Butt Hurt." Okay, that was the name of the live stream. My teeth were hurt, killing me that night. That was a fun stream, by the way. Just because we had people on there and everybody was joking, and having a good time, and it made me feel better. It made me forget my physical pain, right? But I get what you're saying. Even if it's a mental thing that people are dealing with, they just want somebody there to talk with or to have fun with, and I get that, and it's awesome. Us as content creators can do that, right? Because we're not just some random thing you click on.
And Carlo sums it up in one sentence. There's a lot of people in the same place, and it helps to know they're not alone.
Yep.
Absolutely true. And I want to say hello to you, Captain. How are you doing?
Doing good. Doing good.
Oh, glad to hear. I haven't seen you in a while, so I know you've been doing a morning show here and there, which is awesome to see.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I have a question because we're all nerds here, right? We are all nerds or geeks or whatever you call yourself. Have you guys watched Doom Patrol
No.
on HBO Max?
No, I was actually going to get HBO Max just to watch the prison show Oz because I loved watching it when it was actually airing back in 2000. That's the only reason I would. Yeah, that and The Sopranos is the only reason I would get HBO Max.
Long time ago. I don't actually. Okay, the first 2 seasons of Doom Patrol was actually really good, and I enjoyed watching it. And then the 3rd season and the 4th season, now going into the 4th season, I'm just going, why? Why are you using the F-bomb every other word? I mean, if I could write a script in Hollywood today.
I tell you what, Mr. CCTV, don't watch Oz or The Sopranos then if you got a problem with the F-bomb.
I don't have a problem with the F-bomb. I use the F-bomb myself all the time. But when you see a show that had 2 great seasons, and then the 3rd and the 4th season, you are literally just listening to them saying fuck, 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 fuck,
I get now. Here's my question: even if I get it for those 2 shows, are there any like decent sci-fi related shows on there that would just make it worth that $15 a month? Besides the 2 shows I want to watch.
Well, again, like I said, the first 2 seasons were great.
Right.
and I'm working my way through the third and fourth. Well, I'm on the fourth season now. I had to work my way through the third season, and I'm on the fourth season right now. Going, ouch! Why
Well,
does this hurt my brain so much?
I kind of had that feeling with like the third season of The Expanse, right? It's like, ouch, this makes my brain hurt. And then they actually did the last season, which was like, yeah, okay, that's cool.
You know, there were so many people who were saying The Expanse was the greatest science fiction show ever.
If you could get past season 1, yes. Because it's a slow burn. Season 1 is a very slow burn for that show.
It does not matter to me. I am a science. Okay, I am a science guy. I know how to do maths and all that. So the fact that the Belters, who was that guy that was hanging on a hook? It was the first season of The Expanse.
Oh, now I
The
gotta
guy-
remember The Expanse.
yeah, the guy
Do you
was
know how long
hanging on
ago
the
it was
hook.
I watched this?
Yeah, I
he
don't.
was
I
a
don't.
I can't
belter.
remember details like that, but
He was a belter, and he was not able to stand up on his own because he'd been in zero gravity or microgravity for his entire life. And so I that was profound to me, just knowing that there are science people out there.
well, yeah, I mean, they were even thinking about that back in the days of Star Trek, right? They're like, well, how are we going to keep them from floating all around the ship, right, all the time, when they're going to be out there for all this time? So that, hey, artificial gravity. But guess what? When you do something that's a little more realistic, then obviously you're going to have to deal with stuff like, okay, so they're going to have limited gravity because they're on an asteroid or planetoid, whatever the case might be, a space station, whatever the case is. So, and you got to realize, that The Expanse was made how many decades after Star Trek, or at least the original. So, yeah, they thought about that stuff,
Yeah,
right?
four
And we've had
decades.
all this practical experience in space since Star Trek was made. So that's why, right? That's why you saw stuff like that on The Expanse, which I thought was really, really good. Just a little sciencey little facts like that and stuff.
You're such a nerd.
I am a nerd.
You're such a nerd.
Well, Bird, Captain, anything you guys want to add to this, or
Sorry about that.
no? You're good, Bird. You're good.
The Random Menaces, the F-bomb, is such a sweet and innocent word compared to the words I am using. I am a frequent user of the C word. Thanks to profits for home office. Otherwise, I'd be fired many times over.
What C word? You mean Kuroga?
No,
That's right.
no, he's allowed to get away with the C word because he's in a foreign country. We are not allowed to say the C word, and I'm
What?
sure.
So they can say the C word in Slovakia. Is that what this is?
Yes,
Yeah.
they can say the C word in Slovakia. We are not allowed to say the C word here in the United States because then we get ists and fogged all the
Right.
time.
And what C word would that be? Can't? Cannot?
We'll go
What?
very close to cannot.
Yep.
You replace the A with a U, and you have the word.
Canut?
That's right.
That almost
Could
sounds
it?
like. That
Canut.
almost sounds like.
Yeah.
Sounds
There.
like Canuck. What? Oh.
Arlo Albanese says, Space Above and Beyond is the best sci-fi made.
Oh, that
After
was a
Trek
great dude.
and
I
Star Wars.
wish they had more than one season of that. I really do.
Yeah.
That was a great
that's
show.
That's the problem with great shows is they usually only get one season. The worst
That was an
shows on
awesome
the planet
show.
get all the seasons they want, but the best shows only get one season.
I tell you what, if nobody's seen Space Above and Beyond, look that up. Watch it. It's awesome.
Do you guys know who? Do you guys know who Jim Butler is?
No, should I?
No.
He wrote The Wizard, Harry Dresden, the Dresden Files.
I've heard of that, but I don't know if I ever seen it. I might have seen it. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank.
Well,
It's not hard for me to do, by the way. So.
fair enough. And that was one season of the Dresden Files. But I will listen to the books by Butler every single time he comes out with a new one. I listen to it. I have to listen to books. I can't actually hold books in my hand anymore.
Oh, hold on, Bird. Put that comment back up. Random Minute says, fun fact, a colloquial expression for the word edge. Hey, that's the name of my face shaving cream. Sound in Slovak exactly like the C word. Oh, okay. Well, I guess don't buy my shaving cream in Slovakia there, Random Menace. Because it's called Edge.
That'd be dangerous. For HBO Max, though, I watch it for. It's got Looney Tunes.
Oh, it does.
The original
Nice.
Looney Tunes, like almost all of the original.
Yeah, because I'm looking for other reasons to like pay the $15 a month besides
And
Oz
the new
and The
ones.
Sopranos.
Yeah, you can always like I always get it when it's got the annual price where it's like $100 for a year.
Oh yeah, I can get it even discounted off of that through Prime. So
yeah, they have all the classic Star Trek movies. They have.
So that's why those aren't on Paramount or Amazon anymore. Okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
Even though Into Darkness is on Netflix, figure that one out.
They've got South Park too.
South Park is on HBO now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that used to be on Prime. I wondered where that went. I think all these streaming services are in cahoots. Because if you look at what Prime used to be back in the day, and then they said, oh, you can watch this, this, and this. And then all of a sudden, oh, no. Try it. Risk-free, try it. Try a trial.
Well, they have to move around. So.
I know the licenses move around, but what I'm saying is the way that these different services are working together to be like, oh, no, we had that. Now it's over here. Go check them out, right? And then you go over there and like the other one that doesn't play that game that I've seen so far is Netflix because they don't like advertise, oh, subscribe to this channel, subscribe to that channel. But Amazon does. So does Paramount. Netflix is the only one that's not saying, oh, subscribe to this service or that service. Whatever's on Netflix is what you get, right? Unless you're using a VPN.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Amazon takes a portion of people who subscribe to HBO through them and whatnot. In fact, that's a big reason why it was a while before HBO Max was on Amazon because HBO didn't want to play that game. So Amazon's like, well, then F you. We won't have you on our devices at all. And people complained because you couldn't get HBO Max on Amazon Fire TV. And then they finally had to come together and make a concession.
Yeah, Fire TV was like the big thing right next to the Roku stick. So yeah, obviously they complained about it. Which a Roku stick is kind of like the YouTube stick they had way back in the day. If anyone remembers that, you probably don't, but I do. Or the Google stick, whatever the hell they called it. And then it morphed into the Roku stick, and then you had the Amazon Fire Stick. And it's just little USB things you plugged into the side of your TV, and you can get all these online apps, right? That was before they started putting the apps on the game consoles and putting them into the TV themselves and everything else.
Random Menace is sick of all the streaming services. There are too many and it costs too much money. And still I have to sell the high seas for some stuff. Yeah.
Oh, I'm right there with you, Random Menace. I'm right there with you.
They had a good thing going, and then they screwed it all up because they got greedy. Everybody wanted their own streaming service. Like Hulu was supposed to be a combination of all the little networks. All the networks were supposed to, share Hulu. But then they're like, well, Disney, they went with,
Disney has this, and then you got all the free ones. Like you get a free service through Amazon called Freevee, which you can get by itself. Freevee, Freeve, or something like that.
Mhm.
And then you got free ones out there like Crackle. You got another one called Popcorn Flicks, right? That's free, but those have ads in them. Big deal, right? So, but yeah, you got all these free ones that have ads in them that people use all the time. So it's like, how are these premium services even surviving? Especially with the new shows they're putting out. I don't understand that. That's my issue. I think they're relying too much on the IPs they already have that are well established and are putting out crap shows in the meantime just to try to keep people interested. And it's not working. What's going to happen when all this collapses, right? Where are we going to be when all this collapses? Is it going to be like you heard in the season 1 finale of Star Trek, right? Where they get the 3 frozen corpses from the 20th century on board, right? TV went out in the late 21st century.
it was a fad that didn't survive much past the 21st century.
I'm just wondering. I mean, especially the way that stuff is going. I'm not saying there's not good stuff out there. There's good stuff out there, but it just seems like they're not pushing the good stuff.
I say though, even in DS9 past tense, that by 2024, internet had pretty much taken over television. To broadcast news, you needed to be on the net. There was no actual broadcast television yet.
Oh, if you go back
anymore.
if you go back to Sequest, it was everything was done over. I forget what they called it in Sequest, but Lucas was on it all the time. Yeah, basically the internet, right? So. I mean, and you look at it now, we don't even have over-the-air broadcast in the U.S., right? Everything's almost all digital here. So
No,
even radio.
if you hook your TV up and you just let it take an on-air signal, you can get your local channels just by having your TV take the aerial broadcast.
Yes, you can. I could do that with a TV from 40 years ago if I had a converter box for it. Guess what? All these new TVs that you got in the last 5-10 years don't have the same tuners in them they did 20 years ago, even though the ones from 20 years ago are flat screen. The ones from 20 years ago have way better tuners in them than the ones they sell now.
Okay,
The analog
the
tuners
new
don't work
TVs
anymore.
Bro,
Yeah,
the analog ones absolutely don't work.
You can still get the aerial signal on your brand new TV.
You can.
If you went out to
Yes.
Best Buy and you bought a TV today, and
You're
you
missing
set
my
it up
point.
in your home, you could still get the aerial signal.
You're missing my
No.
point. My point is, in 2005, I had an aerial antenna hooked up to an old 20-year-old CRTV. This TV was 20 years old in 2005. On a windy day, I was listening to Wisconsin news channels. On a calm day, I had Michigan news channels, right? Because my house is like literally on Lake Michigan. So but you can't do that with the digital tuners in the TVs these days. Okay, you're lucky if you get the station that has a repeater 20 miles away on a digital channel. The old school analog signals don't get through the way the digital ones.
Well, I mean,
The
the old
digital
school,
ones don't come through the way the old school ones did.
you were only getting 480 p at best, probably 360.
I don't care about the frames per second, Bird. What I'm saying is the digital signals don't go nearly as far as the analog ones.
Well, the problem is the digital signal needs a higher bandwidth. So yeah, you got to be closer.
Like way closer. And the problem is when they switched to digital, they didn't put in the digital repeaters. Why? Because it costs money. So guess what? When they switched to digital, everybody that was relying on those over-the-air signals didn't have crap.
2 years ago, before my mom died, we had the TV in the front room, and it was a 50-inch flat screen TV. Okay, we had that in the front room, and we did not have Dish Network or the other one. We did not have that. We had analog coming into the TV 2 years ago, just 2 years ago.
Yeah, but your TV, your flat screen, your big 6-foot TV, however big it is, has a digital tuner built in. Back in the day, back in 2005, we had to get those little things from the government that let us buy the decoders from Walmart to put on the old TV.
You're choosing not to understand what I'm saying. You can have a TV now.
Yeah,
and
you can. He admits that.
You can get local channels.
He understands that. He's just saying the reception quality of the digital channels is not as good as it was when they were analog.
Oh heck no, they're far worse. Yes, I'm agreeing with you, Bird. And yes, the reception quality of the new TV on the digital signal that you get is far worse in quality than the analog signal, just for the simple fact that unless you go out and buy like an $80 to $120 booster to put up, even if you have the old school antenna, you still got to get one of these powered antennas, just because the old antenna that you just used to stick up in the air and run a coax through will not catch these digital signals. Maybe sometimes they do, but 9 times out of 10 they don't.
I do not miss the days when my father would hit me on the head with a stick and say, "Go turn the channel, boy."
Oh, that's because he was too cheap to buy the one my granddaddy had. And it was one where you just turn the thing and it went click, 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 and turned the antenna. I had that too. I'm just saying.
We had
Denise, he says they make
7
money on
local
potential.
channels. Sorry.
They get a loan to make a show, and if the viewership rises, they can get a bigger loan, and so on, never to be paid back. Just an ending cycle. 47 Yorktown says, I got a TV antenna. All I get is Canadian television. But you're in Canada. Carlos says he's cheap. Random Man says, I canceled all cable satellite subscriptions. Digital channels have weak reception, especially between spring and fall. because they are blocked by water, and water is in trees.
Thank you, Random Menace. That's exactly what I was saying.
Oh,
I know that, yeah, even in New York City, just a few miles as the crow flies from, where these signals are being sent out from. Uh,
Yeah,
the
they used to.
signal's great when it's unencumbered, but if a train is approaching and stuff, it starts
Train
freezing
keeps
up like
rolling all
crazy.
night long. Train keeps
Uh,
rolling all night long.
yeah.
No, but seriously, those analog signals, you could get them in a basement apartment in New York City back in the day. No, you're in a basement apartment. Nope. You got
Well,
to be in a penthouse to get that signal now.
I mean, you would get it in the basement, but there'd be a little static in it, but you could live with it. The problem is that a digital signal, you can't live with a little static. If there's a little static,
You get a
you
black
have,
screen.
yeah, you get 3 seconds of video and then 2 seconds of blackness, and then 3 seconds of video, 2 seconds of blackness. It's not something you can live with. That's the problem. But
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like these digital companies
okay.
they're just.
Well, okay. I apologize then. I'm assuming whatever areas you guys are living in, you didn't have the same um, ability I did 2 years ago, because we didn't have that problem. I mean, we watched Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune every single night.
Hey, Mr. CCV, I'll tell you something. I had that ability. I had that ability when digital came out. I had an antenna that went up in the air, and it had an automatic, thing that made the antenna swing around, so I wouldn't have to climb on the roof to do it. Okay, I had the electric antenna turn. Okay, I'm just saying. I felt those pains back in 2005, my friend. So this is nothing new.
it's just different for different people in different parts of the country.
Yeah.
Some people get a better
It
signal
is.
than others. There's no
Yeah.
point in arguing it.
And Phoenix is one of those places where it's all flat and it's all 2,000 feet elevation. It's all flat, and so all of the digital signal and all of the analog signal, all of it goes through Phoenix without any interruption.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to sound like I was arguing. I'm not. I'm just saying, try to get that signal on your TV from Bird's house in Kuroga Land over by the Adirondacks. It ain't gonna happen.
Oh yeah, up in the Adirondacks, we would get two VHF stations and like 4 UHF stations, and all of them staticky. Then when digital came out, we were lucky to get one VHF station, period. That was it. But of course, now they have cable, but we didn't want to pay for cable, for a house that we're at. If we were lucky, 1 weekend a year, nobody would pay
I,
for
I was
cable.
I was gonna say, Bird, if you are going up to that house in the Adirondacks, you should be doing a hell of a lot more than just watching TV.
Oh yeah, I mean that was the thing when we were up there. We didn't want to watch TV. Watching TV was only for the rainy days
Well,
when
absolutely.
you
You're up
couldn't
there.
do anything else.
They call them the Adirondacks, but it's actually part of the Catskills, wasn't it, Bird? Where you
No,
were at?
no, the
No.
Adirondacks are separate
Oh, separate
from
from
the
the Catskills.
Yeah. Yeah, no, as kids, we didn't really watch television except at night and rainy days up there. But also as kids, we didn't even have air conditioning up there. We were okay with it.
You didn't need it. You didn't need it there.
Right. but
I
then
mean, you're basically talking about southern Canada.
yeah, but then at some point,
no, that's called Northern Michigan, Mr. CCDB.
that's
Northern
that's
New York was one of the best places I was ever stationed at. Colorado Springs was my favorite. But Northern New York, Fort Drum, New York, just southern Canada, as I keep saying.
The farthest I got into New York was to Binghamton, and that's because
I have not
the girl
been to
I was with.
Binghamton.
Yeah, that's because the girl I was with, her dad, the oil company he worked for, they had a contract negotiation. I had to drive the whole family out there for some reason. I can't remember why. It was so long ago. It was like
Binghamton
22,
is
23 years ago.
nice,
But yeah,
but it's
we went to
kinda
Binghamton.
south.
Yeah, we had to take the 80-90 over the toll road. And that was a sight. I remember coming around the ski resort in the middle of the night. I'm like, what the heck is that? A UFO coming down? I'm like in my early 20s, right? Is that a UFO? For miles, and then you get around there and you see like all these big lights, and it's a ski resort. Holy
Carlo
crap.
Albanese says, "Can we power our devices with the unused Wi-Fi signal, like on Star Trek?" No, unfortunately,
No,
we can't.
if we could do wireless power, that'd be some Nikola Tesla stuff.
Random Man says, "Cables on the way out. Too many commercials. Too little watchable content." You know what I hate about all these commercials now on streaming services?
They're
On
lame.
cable, Congress made it illegal for commercials to be louder.
Oh,
than
you
the
mean
show.
like infomercials?
Oh my God!
You're in the
Regular
midst.
commercials, like
You got
you're
your
listening.
TV set to 5, and all of a
Yeah,
sudden the
and then all
commercial
of a
goes to
sudden,
15.
Sunday.
Yeah, I
You
hated
know,
that
like
shit.
what the fuck? And so it was illegal and stopped. It took a while,
Good.
but it stopped.
That's a good law.
I agree. But now, because these laws were for cable, and this technically isn't cable, now they can do it again.
They're doing it
So
on
now,
YouTube.
yeah, now we set a channel at night, and like I put on Pluto to watch Star Trek at night, and
Yep.
okay, Star Trek is
Yes.
volume
And
is set to
it
10,
does blow. It
and
blows
then
out your eardrums.
The
Yeah.
180-second commercial comes on, and it's up to 35. Have you used your dentine today? What the fuck?
what the
Why
fuck?
am I awake?
We're just gonna go through this all over again now.
Yeah, it's annoying. It really is. I went through that last night, Bird, and I wasn't even using a free version like that. I was watching something on Freevee through Amazon Prime, and they did the same shit.
Yep.
Because it's just so you can hear an advert while you go to the toilet. Yeah.
Hey, all hail Bird of Prey for his 80s commercials, by the way. I'm just saying. The Geologia Break commercials are awesome, Bird. Don't change them.
I'd like to add new ones from time to time, but yeah.
But do you have what's his name, Morris from Meow Mix or whatever that cat commercial
Oh,
was?
Morris the cat. I could look
Yeah.
for Morris.
Yeah.
Meow. That wasn't Meow Mix.
Oh no, Morris was the
9
white
Lives.
cat. Fancy
Morris
Feast.
is the orange cat.
Morris is who's
Morris
the white?
is the orange cat from 9 Lives. Fancy
Okay.
Feast has the white cat.
The white cat is Fancy.
I don't
Feast.
think it had a name.
You got to add them to though. Yeah, the 2 cat commercials. That'd be awesome.
The cats that I inherited from my former roommate who finally moved out, they don't like fancy food. They prefer the bottom
Mice
shelf,
and mice and
they-
entrails.
Yeah, they prefer the bottom shelf cat food.
Meow, 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 meow.
Meow, 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 meow.
Meow,
Your
meow.
cats will ask for it by name. Meow Mix. Okay, so Morris. Who's Morris from? That's not Meow Mix. That's the third.
Yeah, no, Morris is from
9
Nine
Lives.
Lives.
9 Lives. There you got 3 cat
Lives.
commercials right there. You
Yep.
got Fancy Feast, you got Morris, and Meow Mix. 3 cat commercials for your bird, for the cat people out there.
Hashtag more cats for Yosef.
Here's a cat.
Oh, is there the cat outside,
Right
Mom?
outside.
Oh, he must have heard us
Well,
talking about
leave
the
him
cat
out
video.
there.
Hey, cats.
Unless you're
Leave,
shipping him
leave
out
the
to
cat
Yosef.
out. You don't want that Chinese obligation. You don't want that Chinese obligation.
Hey,
Just leave the cat
Snapchat.
outside.
Do you know how much the Chinese are paying for them right now?
Just trying to put that's equal to her.
Did Mama Praise did just say, "Hey, could he go f off"? What? Did I hear her right?
Oh, Mama was a cat ran
The-
across the street.
The Chinese obligation is a Chinese man had his silk robe on and a kitten fell asleep on his sleeve. And so he cut the sleeve off of his robe in order to pull his arm out. That's the Chinese obligation. You are taking on a cat, and that cat doesn't care about you, but you have to care about that cat. So you're taking on the Chinese obligation. All right?
I don't think that just has to do with cats. I mean, I could say the same thing about my puppy dogs here. And especially if I'm sleeping and I don't want to wake their feisty asses up.
Well, it I'm sure it sounded racist when I said it, but it's not racist. It is a truism for the Chinese Chinese people. It's a truism. You cut the sleeve off of your arm instead of waking up the cat. That's the Chinese obligation.
Yeah, because you don't want to get your face clawed up. It's called common sense.
Exactly. And good night, Yvette. Sleep well.
Good night, Yvette.
Take care, Yvette.
Good night, Yvette.
Good night, Yvette.
Well, it's time to go. Do-do-do-do-do.
Ba-do-do-do-do.
Hashtag more cats for Yosef.
We need to get that trending on Twitter.
I'll do it if y'all do. Although, to be honest, I thought it'd be more goats for Yosef. But hey, cats work too.
The random
since-
menace is Yosef has plenty of cats. We can always have a few more, Yosef. Remember,
Meow.
Mama Prey had a dozen cats at one point.
Mama Prey was a crazy cat lady?
She got a cat that turned out to be pregnant, and then she couldn't give away the kittens.
Okay, that makes better sense. Yeah, I didn't think Mama Prey was a crazy cat lady kind of woman. Wow, just wow, says Carlo. Hey, Carlo, that wasn't meant to be mean. I was making jokes, okay? Hopefully good, lighthearted jokes.
Captain Fandom Nerd, how you been doing, man?
I've been doing good. Thank you.
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing, bud. So you're doing your morning show here and there again. That's awesome. Good to see you back online doing your thing. How's that going for you?
Not too bad. Not too bad at all.
Well, good. I know you had some concerns way back. I don't know if that pertains to now, but yeah, I think, you know, you got a good thing with your morning show, man, and I'd like to see you keep it up.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I know there's a lot of people that look forward to that kind of stuff.
I've been surprised at the number of people.
Well, honestly, and don't take this the wrong way, I'm not, because when you stopped doing it, I thought about, well, should I come and do a morning thing? Which, hold on, I got an alarm going off over here for 6 o'clock. Hold on.
I woke up early enough one time to see your show, Captain, and I choose not to wake up that early in the morning ever again.
And I want to say this, Captain, your timing for your show is spot on, because I'm trying to remember what time you start. Is it 6:30 Central Time? Or
Oh,
7?
that's
Morning.
stopped.
Oh, that
I
stopped.
can't
Okay.
do that early anymore.
Okay,
I
so what
can't do that
time?
early.
What time do you do now?
Right now, I do 9 a.m. Central.
9 a.m. Central, so 10 a.m. Eastern. Okay,
Correct.
right, which is good
And I do
because
that because there's a greater chance that Bert will be available.
well, okay, so you're
Seriously.
no. Hey, I'm not knocking you. I'm not knocking you for it, man. Trust me, I'm not. Bird is a good
I mean,
person.
it may only be a 20% greater chance, but it's
Well,
still a greater
20
chance.
Yeah, 20% is better than 0%. So you got
Exactly.
that. Yeah.
I'm not knocking it for you, bud. I'm glad to see you online. And see, here's the thing: when I saw you stop doing it, I'm like, okay, my kid's on the bus by at least 9 in the morning, but I didn't want to, stream over you because I didn't know what time you wanted to start the brew and all that good stuff. So, it's like, some mornings I really want to do a show, but I don't want to step over you because I know
Don't
that
worry
you're
about
getting
it.
back into it, and so.
Do
all that
I
good
wake
stuff.
up? Do I wake up at 8 o'clock Mountain Time? I'm wondering seriously. Do I just not sleep ever at this point? But yeah, 8 o'clock Mountain Time is a lot better than 6:30 in the morning was back in the day. So
Oh yeah.
thank you, Captain, for moving your time stream up a few hours. I appreciate that.
And see, that's another thing. It also will make a few more people available.
It will, because that'll make
4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it'll make it
California time.
7 in the morning California
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Exactly.
So you might get West there, you might get Vile Mike. Who knows? You might get somebody from the West Coast over there. I mean, you never know, right? So
Exactly.
Oh, are you guys wrestling fans at all?
What you gonna do, brother, when Sci-Fi Nation comes for you?
Vince McMahon is back in the WWE.
why am I not surprised?
He is back. So, reactions. Vince McMahon back in WWE.
I'm not
Reactions?
surprised.
Go
I
ahead.
will
not.
be back in a minute.
I'm
or
not
so.
surprised. And actually, I need to take Gelogia break myself, so I'll be back in 30 seconds. I'm not surprised he's back. Captain Phantom, you want to talk about that with Mr. CCDB?
I know. I'm not surprised either. What? In fact, I was shocked.
I barely know anything about wrestling at all at this point. I mean,
exactly.
yeah,
I used to know. In fact,
the last time I watched it was in the early 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so just seeing the news stories and things coming out, just going, okay, Vince McMahon is back. Whatever. To me, it's
back.
just whatever.
Really,
I don't care. But it's a popular topic for like Onzo. Onzo is going to talk about Vince McMahon being back in WWE all night, every night for like a week. and And Rambling Canuck is going to talk about Vince McMahon being back in WWE. You know, so our friends do actually care about wrestling,
Yep,
even though
Or-
we don't.
exactly.
It is a topic that can be discussed, not should be discussed, can be discussed.
It depends on the channel. It depends on the channel. If you're talking Onzo, then it should be discussed because that's more his
Right,
thing.
that's Anzo's thing. Yeah, exactly. But for Bird, right, it's not something that should be discussed. It's something that can be discussed.
Bert's not exactly a huge fan of a lot of.
I
don't
was
know,
a big fan in the
Physical activity.
80s and the 90s, especially the Attitude Era, baby. Yeah.
I don't believe that any of us on the panel right now are wrestling fans.
Wrestling. That's what you do in the backyard. Are you a wrestling fan?
When I did actually watch wrestling.
That's what Vince McMahon said to Ted Turner. Well, you know what? You can have your wrestling. I'm going to provide entertainment. And then Ted Turner turned the tides and made WCW the biggest main event the world has ever seen. La, 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 la. Oh, wait. Wrong wrestler. But anyway, you get the point. Remember back in the heady days of WCW when Monday Nitro would show what was going to happen on Monday Night Raw because Raw was pre-recorded.
I don't know. Is Bird of Prey going to get hit for this if I actually do this?
What? What? You're not playing a video.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Oh, you're talking Michael Buffer. No, how would he get hit for that?
It costs a ton of money to people to say, let's get ready to rumble.
Ladies and gentlemen, people of all ages, welcome to the main event. And then he says, who's in this corner, who's in that corner. Let's get ready to rumble. Hey, yeah, just like Mr. CCTV did. So, yeah, Michael Buffer. Yeah, I don't think Bird's going to get hit with anything.
No, I don't think it'll be an issue. But the heads up, we've probably got 10 minutes left or so before I gotta.
Before you got a jet?
Yeah. And eat dinner.
Yeah.
I did there.
So, Captain, is there anything you want to say before that, since you were the last person to come up?
No, I'm just glad that you decided to have this stream today, and been fun to be on.
Glad you made it. It's the
I'm glad you made
second
it, too.
Tuesday of the month is, unless there's a major reason I can't do it, that's the day I know it comes up sometimes without much notice.
This
But,
was absolutely zero notice to me, and I am so glad I caught this bird. Thank you.
Glad you guys made it. Yes. This is by far the longest members only stream we've had.
I almost wish I still had my members only jacket.
Usually we go 15
Wow.
minutes, a half hour.
Wow.
Dude, no, don't wow
you-
me.
you
That
really
shit
are-
would still
yeah,
look good
no,
right now.
I said wow. Because you're calling back to the 80s. Nobody wears a members only jacket anymore.
I would rock that
I had
shit.
a members only jacket.
I
well
did
into
too, and
the
I'd still
90s.
rock that shit.
I would say probably even early 2000.
Yeah, I had mine in the 90s. I'd still rock it.
People were looking at me weird.
Why do you got little straps on your shoulders? Because you don't.
Exactly. Because you don't.
Oh, and the other thing was to be cool in high school. You had to have a starter jacket.
Oh, I had those all
Oh,
through high
the
school.
starter jacket.
I had the
Oh,
Pistons, I had the Lions, I had the Tigers,
God,
I had
I
all the
hated those
Detroit.
starter jackets.
Seems like
I
some
wore
girls
the
like
I had the jerseys. I had all starter in the 90s. I graduated in
my
94. It was all starter for me.
my
some girl was
my
like,
mom thought she was doing me a favor, and she bought me a Rams jacket.
not all starter jackets have white. Was it white?
Well, what do you mean? Like the
The white
reflective?
stripes, white stripes on the sleeve,
No, they don't.
on
My
the wrist.
Pistons, yeah, my Pistons jacket didn't. No, and it was a
Well,
winter coat. No, it didn't, and it was
well,
starter.
And okay,
mine didn't,
I may
but
have been
mine wasn't a starter
misunderstood.
jacket.
When
I
my
had to
mother
explain that to
bought
the
me the
girl.
starter jacket for the Rams, it was the blue and gold, and it had so the ram horn went over the shoulder, and so it was blue and gold,
Well,
and
I
the
almost
ram horn went over the shoulder, and so nobody liked that jacket.
right.
Nobody
See,
liked
you know,
it.
so it was almost worse than my winter Pistons coat by starter, which had a big basketball in the middle of the back, which is basically a big bullseye. Okay, imagine red and blue, the Detroit Pistons colors, with a big basketball on the back, basketball that was outlined in a white reflective material, making a big bullseye.
And that was back in the day when the Pistons and the Lakers were
We're fucking
going up
battling.
against
Yeah,
each
sorry.
other. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
crap,
yeah.
sorry. No, I messed up. I did the F. Sorry.
Yes, it's Waldo in America, Carlo.
It is. Where's
It's
Waldo?
Waldo. The Random Menace says, I think Rambling Canuck would pee himself if he was not on dialysis. He is such a big fan. And yes, bad joke, but he would appreciate it.
He
Because
would
of
appreciate it. He
WWE.
would.
You know, and he'd also probably call you a hoser for saying it.
He would not say a.
Hey, you're
He
a
would-
hoser.
He would not say a.
Oh, that's a Michigan thing. My bad.
I don't think you were ignored more than regular streams.
Oh, no, Yosef.
I
we
would
weren't
agree.
ignoring you, buddy.
More cats for Yosef.
Hashtag more cats for Yosef.
More cats for Yosef. Hashtag yeah. More tags for you. More cats for Yosef.
Still waiting for Mambo number 5 Trek edition.
A little bit of her.
There.
I got this. I got this bird. A little bit of her by my side. Nurse Chapel, come on by. Oh, hey, is that what you want to hear, Carl? Hey, how you doing? See, I'll make up the words. We can do it.
All right. We're going a deep pull on this one. Why is everybody picking
Always
on me?
picking on me. Why is everybody always picking on me? I don't know. Who knows? I don't know.
Sorry, Bird. If you're gonna sing Charlie Brown, you gotta do it right. Why is everybody always picking on me?
And Mr. CCTV, take your time that Bird gives you, but I'm going to leave my time to Captain Fandom Nerd right here, because this guy right here does a morning show that should be watched.
Oh, trust me, I've had more than enough people, express an interest in it, and I've been quite happy by it. But no, go ahead. You talk.
Well, I'm not going to say nobody already knows. Y'all know where to find me, youtube.com/sci-fi nation. And, I'm trying to clean up the channel. I'm trying to make things right, make it a little more family friendly and, just a little less insane. Trying to do the right things and trying to get everything right. Not only in real life, but with the channel. it's been a weird few years. Trust me, I'm there with you. I'm just trying to do what's right now, heading into the future. So, if you can put past randomness, no pun intended, Yusuf, behind the channel, then I think we got a lot of good things to look forward to in the future on the Sci-Fi channel. So, I don't know what I can say other than that. I got to get a regular streaming schedule set up again. I used to have it. I need to get that again. I do have some videos lined up to be coming out. I know I've said it in the past, but I haven't had time to work on them, which I do now. Which may sound weird, especially with me starting a new job. But this new job actually frees me up not only from the house, but also creatively. It lets me get into my own brain space.
I actually did. I did want to ask you that question, as a matter of fact, because you said you started a job. Now it's under the table, so you get paid.
It's whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, you are working. So you're working what, 8 hours every other day or something like that.
Well, between 4 to 6 hours every other day.
Oh, right.
It's not nothing major. It's not nothing major.
You are out of the house. You are out of the house, and you are enjoying yourself outside the house.
Yeah, I get to work with the public again, which is what I did when I ran the hardware store, right? So, which is what I did when I started my channel.
You are much more. I enjoy hanging out with you now, since you've been working with the public again. So
I know when I was a shut-in, I'll agree with you. When I was a shut-in, I was a complete arse.
You were a complete arse. So yes, since you've been working with the public again, you are a much more enjoyable person to hang out with.
I get to put my social skills.
I can't say the same about myself. I can't say the same about myself, but I can say that I can't say that about you. You are much more enjoyable to hang out with now.
I appreciate that, Mr. CCTV. I do. And you know what? I never had anything bad to say about you, but I know we had our disagreements, but I never had a bad word to say about you ever.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We've had disagreements, and it's still fun to hang out with you, even though we disagree often.
Well, that's half the fun, ain't it?
Sometimes it is. Sometimes that is the fun.
Mr. CCDV, is there anything you'd like to say before we go?
I was going to ask you and Captain, what meal would you like me to cook and post up on my website? The last one I did was gumbo. I still have not done a bolognese. I'm still working on my recipe for bolognese. However, any other recipe that you want me to do, I will do. But you need to tell me what you want to see cooked. I have to do omelets for LDG. So I'll do the omelets. However, what do you guys want to see cooked?
To be honest, that's one of my biggest problems. I honestly don't know. Whatever it is, it's got to be, for me, low in sodium.
I know that he likes his scrambled eggs, so.
Ooh, I can make you some light and fluffy scrambled eggs that you've never seen before. Well, sorry, this is that. Never mind. I'll leave that to Mr. Susie.
I'll think about it.
So the omelet video that I'm going to post in a few days is going to be the scrambled egg omelet, whatever country the omelet comes from. But the French omelet is what I suspect most of you are thinking of. where it's all yellow and fluffy and beautiful, and there's
Ooh,
just
heck yeah.
just a hint of cheese and maybe some
You
mushrooms.
gotta
Okay,
put some shredded cheese on
just
that.
a hint of
You got your
cheese and a little
veggies
bit
up
of
there.
mushrooms.
See, I learned how to make my omelets on a flat top grill, actually in a little skillet. Then I learned how to make them on a flat top grill. That's how I like them. That's like my hash brown.
Carlo Albanese says, "Can I say something?" Of course you can, Carlo. By all
Yes,
means.
Carlos. Say it, Carlos.
And Antidote of Jill is back. Says, "Hey, cool! I made it home, and this is still live for a short
Well,
amount." Yes, it is.
we're here just
So-
for you, Jill. You know that.
Carlo says mac and cheese. Okay, mac and cheese is actually very difficult to make.
It is. I don't even know how to make a homemade. Okay.
I mean,
So-
you can buy it out of a box, okay, or you can actually make a white sauce with cheese.
Ain't that weird though? It's like one of the things you can buy for like 19 cents a box is the hardest thing to make homemade.
Oh, Carlo
It is.
Albanese, yes.
It is
Can I
incredibly
say
difficult to make
something?
homemade. Yes.
And then he says, "Boobies,
Boobies.
Boo.
boobies."
Boo, boo, bees. We don't like
Boo,
bees. Boobies.
Okay, Carlo.
He's booing the bees.
But he would love a good bolognese.
I like a good bologna too.
Random Menace, do mac and cheese that doesn't look like a heart attack. Carlos says maybe mac and cheese, but with not American cheese.
Oh, maybe with toasted Parmesan on top. That would
Definitely not. Never make mac and cheese with American cheese.
No, don't.
American cheese is one of the worst.
And I tell you what,
cheeses on the planet.
And by American, we don't mean Velveeta neither. No, don't do it. Wouldn't be prudent. Nope.
Okay.
I would, however, put a nice toasted topping of Parmesan on top. What I'm gonna do that holds it together? I don't know. That's something else.
America F, yeah, absolutely, Carlo. Absolutely. But with that, I do have to get going. Thank you guys all for coming and hanging out. All of you, especially, obviously, channel subscribers. I really thank you all.
Thank
if
you,
ever
Bird.
Need me, feel
Good night,
free
Bird.
to reach out to me on Twitter, on Discord, on my email, bertobray5@aol.com, or however else you can get a hold of me.
Ask Bob, dear Bob.
Dear Bob, sure.
JUOT.net.
JUOT.net's another place. You can also.
Thank you for having us on.
Thank
You're
you,
very
Bird.
welcome.
Thank you, Bird.
Absolutely.
you.
Thank you,
Good
buddy.
times. Good times.
Appreciate it.
Okay, guys. Qapla all. Good night, good evening, and whatever time of the day or night it is. Bird and panel out.